How's it going, people? Salmon Slapper here, and this is your guide to the brand new upgraded giant mole. So they've recently updated the giant mole and his entire area, including the way he actually attacks. So to cover this, let's get started. So the boss itself is called Giant Mole, and he is level 110. He mainly uses melee, and he does have 78k HP. Jagex themselves actually recommend for the players to be around 110 to solo this boss, and there is actually a hard mode included with this boss, which is optional. If you do choose to do the hard mode, then you need to either be a level 140 plus, or have 3 people at least at the combat level of 110. The boss does now have multiple special attacks, and he will move around the room periodically after a certain amount of HP has been taken off. So, in order to talk about these special things, I think we should actually go in game and show you. So to get to the giant mole, you need to come to Falador, and in the northern edge of Falador you have the garden. In the very northwest side of this, you'll see this giant ass plant. This is how you enter the fight with the giant mole. You can choose to either enter an entrance on your own, or party up with other people, or enter the hard mode version. So for this example, we're just going to go in normal mode. As soon as you enter, the giant mole will be directly in front of you, and tooltips will pop up on the screen telling you what he does in each specific room. So here we go, these are the different attacks this mole will use in each separate chamber. Chamber 1 is where you actually enter. The first time you're in this room, it seems that the mole doesn't particularly use any special attacks, and you just need to take it down a period of HP until it moves to another room. The second chamber in the northeast corner, inside here the mole will actually use Enrage, and what will happen is the mole will actually start attacking quite a lot quicker, and it's quite easy to counter. All you need to do is simply stun the mole and it'll interrupt its speed up attacks. It does actually start to hit a bit harder and quite a bit faster whilst in this room if you fail to stun it though. Moving on to chamber 3 in the southeast, in this room the mole will use Avalanche, which is basically the mole will stun you, and soon after rocks will start to fall on top of you from the ceiling and will deal quite a lot of damage at a steady rate. Easy way to counter this is simply use Freedom. As soon as you use that, just move out of the way and you'll stop being hit by all of the falling rocks. Moving on to the fourth chamber in the southwest corner, in this room the mole will actually use Dig. Basically the mole will dig into the ground and randomly appear somewhere within that same chamber. But if you happen to be standing next to the mole as it reappears, you'll start taking constant, fairly high damage. Easy counter to it is simply move away. So as soon as you see it dig, start running around the room. Simple as that. And finally, the fifth chamber up in the top left. In here, the mole will actually call for aid. And what will happen is the mole will actually summon smaller little baby moles to come and help it out. Now you may, in the normal mode, find that these aren't particularly a threat unless you are a fairly low level. If you're high level, they pose really no problem on normal mode. In hard mode, however, they do start to hit fairly hard, so it may be a good idea to take them out. An easy counter for this in either mode, though, is simply to use your AoE abilities, your area of effect attacks. If you use a mage, this is something like Detonate and Chain. So with that said, let's move on to the killing. As soon as you kill it in the first area, it'll randomly dig and run off to another area. There's an easy way to check which direction it's actually going, as you'll see like bubbles of rocks on the floor in the direction it's actually heading. So this is the southwest chamber. In here she will dig into the ground and randomly pop up, as you did see it, and that is the animation to know which direction she's going. All you have to do is simply follow around this cave and she'll go into each of the chambers and eventually end up in the top center. So this is the southeast chamber. In here she will stun and drop rocks on top of your head. It's very easy to keep an eye out for. Simply keep it spamming your attacks, and as soon as you see the rumbling, quickly press Freedom and run out of the way. As you can see, while standing there, you will take constant damage. So as soon as you've tapped Freedom, make sure you move out of the way. So again, you just follow the direction in which she's actually running off to. In this case, it seems to be up into the northwest corner. So in the northwest chamber, her special attacks are the Call for Aid ability. Whilst fighting her, she will randomly at any given point summon smaller moles to come assist, as you can see. Now these moles may not do a humongous amount of damage, but they can hit fairly accurately, so it may be a good idea just to type them out. All you've got to do is simply use your AoE abilities. There's no point genuinely focusing on the little midgets, because she will just summon some more. So if you just knock them out with some AoEs, you should be good. Protect from melee, however, could be very handy in here. Either way, once you've managed to take her out, she'll then move on to the next one. In this case, it seems she's going up to the northeast. The direction she chooses to go into does vary every time you come in here, so you may find that she comes up into this northeast corner first, and another time it might be the last. Either way, once you're in here, in this room, she will use her enraged ability. While she's enraged, her attacks start to deal a little bit more damage, and she attacks quite a lot quicker than previously. And very easy counter to this is simply to stun her. So it's a good idea to make sure your stun is ready before entering this room, and only use it when she begins to enrage. And the last room she'll always appear in is always this top corner, this very entrance room that you started the entire fight in. The difference is this time she will now use a combination of every single skill from each of the chambers. So now you need to put to test your actual skills that you've learnt by killing her in the previous chambers. So she will call for help, she will avalanche you, she will dig into the ground, she will also enrage. And on top of that, in this last room, she seems to be a little bit stronger, although that might just be my personal bias. So it's very straightforward. Keep your head on your shoulders, stay calm, nice and easy. Just follow what you learned in the rest of them. Keep your stun available for the enrage, keep your freedom available for getting out of the avalanche, and just keep moving around the room as soon as she digs. And AoE all of the little midgets. Very simple, very straightforward. It's a nice little addition. It's a very good change for the boss compared to what it used to be. And hopefully with that, you've now got all the information you could possibly need to take out this boss. It has no particular weakness to any kind of combat, so you can come in here in any combat type and take her out. Although she does primarily use melee, as well as the midget moles will also use melee. So ideally you prefer to have either a melee setup or a mage setup for this fight. Either way, that is everything you need to know, so go ahead and go kill yourself some moles. And I said, good luck, and I will catch you all later. Have a good one.